Life often feels like a series of disconnected moments, strung together without a clear pattern. But what if every second, every decision was recorded in a divine ledger, a book where the eternal consequences of our actions are revealed? My name is Michael Stevens, and I never thought much about what happens after death. I was a man of logic, a teacher who believed in facts, not faith. But all of that changed one fateful afternoon when my heart stopped, and I found myself standing in a place I could never have imagined. It was a warm April day, and I was walking to my car after a long day at work. I remember feeling a sudden, sharp pain in my chest, like a vice tightening around my heart. The world blurred, and then everything went dark. When I opened my eyes, I wasn't in a hospital. I wasn't even on Earth. I was in a place that felt vast and endless, filled with light that seemed alive, pulsating with warmth and peace. There were no walls, no ceiling, just an infinite expanse that felt more real than anything I had ever known. Before I could process what was happening, I heard a voice. It wasn't loud, but it resonated through every part of me, as though it was speaking directly to my soul. "Michael," the voice said, "you are here to see what your earthly eyes cannot perceive. I have brought you to witness the truth." The voice belonged to an angel, a being of light so radiant that I could barely look at him. Yet there was no fear, only an overwhelming sense of love and peace. I managed to ask, "Where am I?" "You are standing on the edge of eternity," the angel replied. "You have been brought here to see heaven's book of life, a record of every thought, word, and deed you have ever lived. Through this, you will understand the weight of your choices and the ripple effects they create." The angel extended his hand, and suddenly, before us appeared a massive book. It wasn't like any book I had ever seen. Its pages glowed with a golden light, and as the angel opened it, I saw that each page was filled with words and images, shimmering like they were alive. "This is the book of life," the angel said. "It contains not only your story, but the story of how your life has impacted others. Watch carefully, for what you see will change everything." As the angel turned the pages, I saw my life unfold before me. Each moment, each decision was captured with a clarity that took my breath away. The first scene I saw was from my childhood. I was 8 years old, sitting at the dinner table with my family. My younger sister, Emily, had just spilled her milk, and I had laughed at her instead of helping. It was such a small moment, something I hadn't thought about in decades, but in the Book of Life it was illuminated with startling detail. "What does this matter?" I asked. It was just a silly, insignificant moment. The angel turned to me, his eyes filled with both compassion and gravity. "There are no insignificant moments, watch." The scene shifted, and I saw how my laughter had embarrassed Emily, making her feel small and unseen. That feeling stayed with her, influencing her. Confidence in subtle but profound ways. Tears filled my eyes as I realized how my careless actions, no matter how minor, had impacted someone I loved. The angel continued turning pages, showing me other moments, times when I had chosen selfishness over kindness, fear over courage, or indifference over love. Each choice, no matter how small, created ripples that spread farther than I could have imagined. But then, the scenes shifted again, and I began to see moments of light. I saw a time in college when I had helped a struggling classmate with their studies. I had barely remembered it, but in the Book of Life, it was a golden thread, glowing brightly. That small act of kindness had given my classmate the confidence to pursue their dreams, and they had gone on to become a teacher, inspiring hundreds of students in their own journey. The angel spoke again. "Your life is like a tapestry, Michael. Every action, every choice adds a thread to the design. Some threads are dark, born of selfishness or fear. Others are golden, woven with love and faith. Together, they create the story of who you are." I was overwhelmed by the beauty and complexity of it all. Every moment mattered. Every choice left a mark, not just on my life, but on the lives of others. The angel continued, "The Book of Life doesn't only record what you've done. It also shows what could have been, the opportunities you missed, the moments you ignored the quiet prompting of your heart. I saw a scene where I had felt an urge to call an old friend who was struggling, but I had dismissed it, telling myself I was too busy. In the Book of Life, I saw what might have happened if I had made that call, how my friend might have found hope in that moment and gone on to impact others in ways I could never imagine. I felt a deep sense of regret, but the angel placed a comforting hand on my shoulder. You are not shown these things to condemn you, but to teach you. Even now, there is time to weave new threads into the tapestry of your life. The pages of the Book of Life turned slowly, revealing moments I had forgotten, or perhaps chosen to ignore. The angel's voice was steady, yet filled with compassion, as he said, "Michael, it is time to see the choices left unmade and the opportunities missed." I braced myself, unsure of what I was about to witness. The first scene showed a day when I had walked past a man sitting on the sidewalk, holding a sign that read, "Hungry and Homeless." I remembered that moment now, how I had felt a pang of guilt but had kept walking, rationalizing that I didn't have time to stop. In the Book of Life, the scene expanded. I saw how a simple act of kindness, a meal, a conversation, even a smile, could have brought hope to that man. Instead, I saw the darkness of despair that had clung to him as he sat there, feeling invisible and forgotten. Tears welled up in my eyes. "I didn't know," I whispered. "I didn't realize how much it mattered." The angel turned to me, his gaze gentle yet piercing. "Every missed opportunity is a chance for growth, Michael. These moments are not meant to condemn you, but to awaken you. You must understand the weight of your choices, not to dwell in regret, but to act with intention moving forward." The next scene was even more difficult to watch. It showed a time when my younger brother, Daniel, had reached out to me after a heated argument with our father. I had been too preoccupied with work to listen, brushing off his pain with a quick, "You'll figure it out." In the Book of Life, I saw the hurt in Daniel's eyes and how my dismissal had deepened his sense of isolation. But then the scene shifted, showing what could have happened if I had taken the time to listen. In that version, my words of encouragement had given him the strength to mend his relationship with our father, creating a ripple effect of healing in our family. I felt a heavy weight settle on my chest. "How can I undo the harm I've caused?" I asked, my voice trembling. The angel placed a hand on my shoulder. "The past cannot be changed, but every moment moving forward is an opportunity to choose differently. Redemption is not found in erasing the past, but in allowing it to transform you. Let these lessons guide you, Michael. Choose love, always." As I watched more scenes unfold, I began to see a pattern. Every time I ignored a prompting to act in kindness or love, it wasn't just a missed moment. It was a missed opportunity to reflect the light of God's love into the world. The angel turned the page, and suddenly the atmosphere shifted. The weight of regret that had pressed down on me was replaced by an overwhelming sense of hope. "This is not the end of your story, Michael," the angel said. "Now I will show you the power of grace and the opportunities that still lie before you." The next scene in the Book of Life was unlike the others. Instead of showing my past, it revealed a vision of what my future could look like if I chose to live with purpose and intention. I saw myself standing in a community center, speaking to a group of people who looked weary yet hopeful. They were listening intently as I shared my story, how I'd been given a second chance to live a life that mattered. I saw their faces light up with understanding and inspiration as they realized their own lives were filled with untapped potential. The angel explained, "Every moment is a new beginning, Michael. Grace does not erase the past, but it redeems it. Through your testimony, others will see that they too can create a legacy of love and purpose." The next image showed me visiting my brother Daniel. This time I didn't brush him off. I listened, truly listened, as he poured out his heart. Our bond grew stronger, and I saw how our reconciliation brought healing to other family relationships that had been strained for years. "Your actions create ripples, Michael," the angel said. "When you choose love, those ripples extend far beyond what you can see. They touch lives in ways you may never fully understand, but they are no less real." The most powerful moment came when the angel showed me a scene of prayer. I was sitting quietly, speaking to God with a sincerity and humility I had rarely experienced before. As I prayed, I saw golden threads extending from my words, weaving into the lives of others. These threads brought light and hope to people struggling in darkness, friends, family, even strangers I would never meet. Prayer is one of the greatest gifts you have been given, the angel said. Through it, you partner with heaven to bring God's light into the world. Never underestimate its power. Finally, the angel closed the book of life and looked at me with a solemn expression. Your journey is not over, Michael. You have been shown these things so that you might return to live with intention, to choose love in every moment, and to share what you have learned with others. I felt a surge of determination. I want to live differently, I said. I want my life to matter. The angel smiled. Then go, Michael. Live with purpose. Let the lessons of this book guide you, and remember that every moment is an opportunity to reflect the love of God. With those words, the light around me began to fade, and I felt myself being drawn back to my body. The warmth of eternity was replaced by the cool air of the hospital room, and I opened my eyes to see the faces of doctors and nurses surrounding me. As my eyes opened in the hospital room, I was greeted by the beeping of machines and the voices of doctors and nurses around me. Their expressions ranged from shock to relief as they realized I was awake. "You're back," one of them said. "We thought we lost you." I blinked, trying to process what had just happened. The memories of the book of life, the angel, and the lessons I had learned were as vivid as the room I was now in. I had been given a second chance, a chance to live with purpose and to weave new threads of love, faith, and kindness into my tapestry. The days following my return were a blur of recovery and reflection. As I lay in the hospital bed, I replayed the scenes I had witnessed. Each moment of regret became a catalyst for change, and each moment of light became a reminder of the power I held to impact others. When I was discharged, stepping back into the world felt like being reborn. Everything seemed different. The mundane details of life, the sunrise, the laughter of children, the kindness of strangers, felt sacred, like glimpses of heaven on earth. But with this new perspective came a responsibility. I couldn't return to my old ways of living passively, ignoring the quiet call to love and serve. The lessons I had learned demanded action. I started with the small things. I reached out to my brother Daniel and apologized for the times I had dismissed him. We talked for hours, sharing our fears, hopes, and memories. That conversation became the foundation for a relationship we had both longed for but never pursued. At work, I began to see my students not just as individuals to teach, but as lives I could influence. I took the time to listen to their struggles, offering encouragement and support. It wasn't long before I noticed a shift, not just in them, but in me. Each act of kindness, no matter how small, felt like adding a golden thread to the tapestry of my life. The more I embraced this new way of living, the more I felt compelled to share my story. I couldn't keep the truth of what I had seen in the book of life to myself. It started with friends and family. I gathered them together one evening and told them everything, how my heart had stopped, how I had been shown the impact of my choices, and how I had returned with a mission to live intentionally. There were tears, questions, and moments of silence as they processed what I shared. But by the end of the night, something incredible happened. They began to open up about their own lives, sharing their regrets, hopes, and the ways they wanted to change. Word of my experience spread, and soon I was invited to speak at community centers, churches, and schools. Each time I shared my story, I saw how it resonated with people. It wasn't just about my journey, it was about theirs too. One evening, after sharing my story at a local church, a young woman approached me. She looked hesitant, but her eyes were filled with determination. "Your story made me realize something," she said. "I've been holding on to anger for years, and it's been eating away at me. But tonight I decided to let it go. I want to forgive, just like you said." Her words moved me to tears. In that moment, I saw the ripple effects of my testimony, the golden threads extending beyond my own life and into the lives of others. The angel's words echoed in my heart. When you choose love, those ripples extend far beyond what you can see. I began to understand that sharing my story wasn't just about inspiring others. It was about creating a movement, a collective effort to live with purpose, to choose kindness over indifference, and to reflect God's love in every moment. Looking back on my journey, I realized that the greatest lesson I learned wasn't just about the choices I had made, but about the ones I could still make. The Book of Life taught me that every moment matters. Every decision, no matter how small, has the power to impact eternity. To anyone watching this, I want to leave you with this. Your life is a tapestry, and every thread, every act of love, every step of faith, every choice to forgive adds to its beauty. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to be willing to live intentionally, to choose love in the moments that matter most. So I ask you, what will your tapestry look like? How will your choices impact the lives of those around you? What legacy will you leave behind? Today is a new beginning. It's an opportunity to add golden threads to your story and to create ripples of light that will extend far beyond what you can see. If this message has touched your heart, I encourage you to share it. Leave a comment about a moment in your life that has shaped you, and let's inspire one another to live with purpose. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs a reminder that their life matters.